Hello everyone, welcome back. I hope okay kayong lahat and ready na ulit kayong matuto. So before we start, gusto ko muna magtanong, have you ever experienced reading a math problem tapos after mong basahin, yung una mong naisip ano ba to? Saan ako magsisimula dito sa problem na to? Parang ang hirap-hirap, hindi ko siya kayang tapusin. So don't worry, hindi lang ikaw yung nakaka-experience niyan, kahit yung mga magagaling sa math, and even yung mga professors ninyo, minsan nalilito rin. So hindi dahil mahirap yung computation, no, kundi dahil hindi nila alam kung paano sisimulan yung problem. And that's exactly what we're going to learn today. Okay? So which is ang applying Polya's four steps in problem solving. So by the end of this lesson, you'll know a simple step-by-step strategy that will make solving word problems such much easier. Hindi man niya gawing madali lahat ng problems, pero siguradong hindi ka na mawawala kung saan magsisimula. So let's begin. But before we get to the topic, of course, let's have our objectives. So for today's lesson, we have two objectives. First is to understand Polya's four steps in problem solving. Then second is to apply Polya's four steps in problem solving. So keep these objectives in mind habang nanonood kayo. So now let's have the Polya's four steps in problem solving. Let's start with the first step. So understand the problem. So this is probably the most important step. Imagine may kaibigan kayong nag-chat sa inyo ng help and wala nang iba. Okay, wala nang iba kundi yun lang, help lang. So, matutulungan mo ba siya? Probably not, kasi kulang yung information. So, ganun din rin sa mathematics. Pag hindi mo muna inintindi yung problem, malaki yung chance na mali agad yung magiging solution mo. So, before solving, tanungin muna natin yung sarili natin. Ano ba yung hinihinging problem? Ano ba yung mga given? And may information bang hindi naman kailangan? So, take your time kasi hindi naman race yung mathematics. Um, um, tawag na 'to. So, kailangan mong i-comprehend ng maayos yung word problem para malaman natin yung mga information na makakatulong sa atin at yung mga information na panggulo lang. Kasi gano'n po sa word problems. Maraming information na pinapagulo lang yung isipan natin pero hindi naman talaga siya kailangan. Okay? So, next step is to devise a plan. So, once naintindihan mo na yung problem, it's time to make a plan. Sorry, nabubulol na ako. So, ask yourself, anong strategy kaya yung pwede natin gamitin? Pwede bang mag-addition tayo, subtraction, multiplication, division, or maybe gumawa tayo ng equation, no? So, hindi lahat ng problems pare-pareho, kaya mahalagang alam mo muna yung direction bago ka mag-solve. So, think of it as using Google Maps. So, hindi ka basta-basta nagda-drive ng walang destination, right? So, same idea sa mathematics. Okay? So, next step is to carry out the plan. Now that na may plano ka na, ito na yung actual solving. Dito mo na gagamitin yung mathematical operations na napili mo. So, remember, work step by step. Huwag madaliin. Most mistakes happen not because students don't know the lesson, but because they skip steps. Okay? Saka kung ano yung naplano na ninyo, is ayun lang yung gawin natin. Huwag na tayong mag-iba-iba pa since planado na nga yung ating um, planado na yung paano natin solve yung isang word problem. Then finally, let's have the fourth steps, which is to look back. So the steps that student usually forget. Ito yung pag-check ng answer. Kapag nakuha mo na yung sagot, huwag ka nang mag-stop doon. Dapat tanongin mo yung sarili mo na, does my answer make sense? Did I answer the questions correctly? Or can I substitute my answer back? Or pwede bang gawin yung checking? So remember, a correct answer isn't just about getting a number. It's about proving that your solution is correct. So now that we know the four steps, let's make solving easier. Sa word problems, may mga keywords na nagbibigay ng clue kung anong operation ang gagamitin. For example, if you see the words sum, plus, add to, increase by, total, usually ginagamit natin dito is addition. Next, if you see difference of, minus, subtracted from, less than, decreased by, diminished by, or less, or ito is usually ginagamit natin dito is subtraction. For multiplication naman, look for words like product, times, multiply, twice of, as much as, as great as large as. Then, finally or lastly is the division. Usually uses words like quotient, divide into, divide into, ratio, and one more important keyword is whenever you see the word is, it usually means the equal sign. So this simple trick can make translating word problems much easier. So dapat maging familiar tayo sa mga keywords na to para mas madali na sa atin kung paano gumawa ng plano para sa word problems. Or paano natin masusolusyonan ng isang word problems. So let's now apply what we've learned. Okay, let's have the example number 1. So the problem says, a number increased by 9 is 15. What is the number? Sige nga, try nyo nga itong isolve. Paki-pause and then try isolve. Okay, so tingnan natin kung tama yung sagot ninyo. So instead of looking at the whole sentence, let's identify the important words first. So the important word dito is a number. Since we don't know what it is yet, let's represent it using x. So let the number be x. The second important word dito is increase by. So kung napatandaan natin ang keywords, kapag sinabi increase by, that means addition. Okay? And is naman is means equal. So our equation should be like this. X plus 9 is equals to 15. Kasi ang sabi dito, ang number daw kapag in-increase by 9 or kapag nag-add tayo ng 9, dapat ang equal nito is 15. No? So now let's solve it. Okay, so we have here the solution for our problem. First is we have to transpose the number 9 sa kabila para maging katabi siya ni 15 kasi sila yung magkaparehas. So, lipat natin. So, x is equals to 15 minus 9 is equals to 6. So, correct. See, tingnan natin kung tama ba yung sagot ninyo. Okay, so sabi sa inyo, kapag alam mo yung keywords, mas madali nang i-convert yung mga sentence into an equation. Okay, next example is 4 less than a number is 20. What is the number? Sige nga, try nating sagutan. Bigyan ko kayo ng time or i-pause ang video. Okay, so to check natin kung tama ba yung sagot ninyo. Again, let's identify the keywords. Ang sabi dito, less than. Kapag sinabing less than is, ibig sabihin, subtraction. Kapag equals naman, pag is naman is equal, ibig sabihin nun is equals, sorry. Okay, so let the number be x kasi hindi nga natin alam kung ano ba yung number na yan. Kung hindi natin siya pwedeng hulaan. So, dapat i-represent natin siya as x since hinahanap natin siya. Okay, so less than means subtraction, is means equals. So, the equation becomes x minus 4 is equals to 20. Baka nagtataka kayo, bakit sabi dito, 4 less than a number is 20. Bakit hindi po 4 minus x? Kasi nauna po yung 4 eh. Ang sabi kasi dito sa ating word problem is 4 less than a number. Ibig sabihin, um, um, kapag binawas daw natin ang 4 sa number, ang equal daw ay 20. Naintindihan po ba? Kapag, tawag nito, pag nakita niyo yung less than na yan, i-make sure nyo na babasahin yung mabuti kasi nakakalito talaga siya. Pero usually naman, kapag sinabing less than, is siya yung mismo yung ibabawas doon sa hinahanap na number. Okay? That's why ang ating equation is x minus 4 is equals to 20. Hindi 4 minus x. Okay? Sana naintindihan? Okay, so let's now have our solution. So, as usual, kailangan lang natin i-transpose itong C4 doon sa kabila o ililipat lang natin sa kabila itong C4. Since negative 4 siya, magiging positive 4 C4. Okay? So, x is equals to 20 plus 4 is equals to 24. So, I hope nakita natin or nakita natin na tama yung sagot na tinry niyo. Kung tinry niyo ba talaga. Okay, now let's make a little more challenging. Sabi rito, twice a number decreased by 29 is 7. What is the number? So, pag ganito pong medyo mahaba na yung ating word problem, wag po kayo magpapanik agad. Kailangan lang natin siyang himay-himayin. Okay, again, let the number be x kasi siya yung hinahanap natin. Then, ang sabi rito, twice a number. twice a number. Kapag sinabing ganyan, ang operation natin is multiplication. Pero ano bang ibig sabihin ng twice a number? Okay. Kapag sinabing twice a number, ang sabi lang dito is kailangan nating i-multiply yung number 2 o yung 2 sa number na hinahanap natin. That's why ang ating solution dyan is 2x. I mean, ang equation natin dyan is 2x sa twice a number. Okay? Next naman is decrease by 29. Pag sinabing decrease by is subtract. Okay? So, decrease means subtraction. Then, is naman is equal. Okay, now our equation becomes 2x minus 29 is equals to 7 dahil twice a number decreased by 29 is equals to 7. Okay, so kapag alam talaga yung keywords, madaling-madali na lang to class. So, dapat kabisado natin yung keywords or kung di man kabisado, dapat familiar tayo. So, let's have our solution. So, again, kailangan lang natin ilipat itong si 29 sa kabila kasi sila yung parehas na walang variable. So, iwan natin si 2x dyan. So, 2x is equals to 7 plus 29. Bakit siya naging plus? Dahil kapag nilipat natin tong negative 29 sa kabila, magiging positive po siya. Okay, so 7 plus 29 is equals to 36. So, tapos na po ba yan? Of course, hindi pa. Kailangan mawala itong 2 sa tabi ni x. O paano natin gagawin yan? Kailangan natin i-divide si 2x sa 2 at saka si 36 sa 2 din. So, 2x divided by 2 is equals to x. Then, 36 divided by 2 is equals to 18. That's why ang sagot po natin dito is 18. Okay, baka makalimutan natin yung checking. Ito po yung lagi nakakalimutan ng mga students, which is yung step number 4, which is yung to look back. So, this time, mag-checking tayo. Okay? So, isa-substitute nyo lang yung nakuha nating value ng x dito sa ating solution. Equation. 2x minus 29 is equals to 7. So, ipapasok lang natin yung 18 sa x. So, 2 times 18 minus 29 is equals to 7. Kailangan mag-equal sila para malaman natin na tama pala yung ating equation. So, 2 times 18 is equals to 36 minus 29 is equals to 7. 36 minus 29 is equals to 7. That's why tama po ang ating solution dahil pareha silang nag-equal to 7. Naintindihan po ba? I hope naintindihan. Okay, let's do one more. Sabi rito, 9 less than thrice a number is 15. What is the number? Himay-himayin ulit natin. So, let the number be x, since siya nga yung hinahanap. And then, sabi rito, thrice a number. Kapag sinabing thrice a number, anong ibig sabihin nun? Kanina nakalagay doon, twice a number. Okay? Sabi kanina, twice a number, kailangan natin i-times sa 2 yung number, which is itong x. Ngayon naman, thrice. Ibig sabihin, kailangan naman natin i-times sa 3 yung x. So, thrice a number is 3x. Then, sabi rito, 9 less than. Pag sinabi bang 9 less than, ibig sabihin ba nun, 9 minus or minus 9. So, 9 less is equals to minus 9. Okay, that's why ang ating equation for 9 less than thrice a number is 3x minus 9. Nagkakaintindihan po ba? Huwag po kayo malilito sa less than na yan. Okay? So, the equation is 3x minus 9 is equals to 15. So, for our solution, of course, kailangan lang natin ulit i-transpose si negative 9 sa kabila. Since negative 9 siya, kapag tinranspose siya, magiging positive 9. So, 3x is equals to 15 plus 9. Okay? 15 plus 9 is equals to 24. Hindi pa natatapos yan. Kailangan mawala pa yung 3 sa katabi ni x. So, kailangan i-divide both sides sa 3. So, cancel na to, may iwan si 3. Si 24 naman, 24 divided by 3 is equals to 8. So, answer natin is 8. So, hopefully tama yung mga sagot nyo if ever man tinry nyo to sa inyong mga sariling papel. So, now let's solve a real life problem. Okay, ito medyo mahirap na to class, pero kayang-kaya to. The sum of the ages of a father and his son is 48 years. The father is 3 times as old as his son. Find their ages. So sige nga, try nyo ang isolve sa sarili ninyo kung ano kaya yung magiging age ni father and son. So dapat ang x natin dito is yung age ni son. Kasi kailangan muna nating makita yung age ni son bago natin makita or mahanap yung age ni father. So, ang father naman, ang magiging age niya is 3x. Dahil nga sabi rito, the father is 3 times as old as his son. Para mas madali yung buhay natin, gawa tayo ng table. Okay, so ito yung present age si son, ang kanyang age is x, si father naman is 3x. And sabi rito kapag kinumbine daw yung kanilang age, ang kanilang age is 48 years. Okay, kapag kinuha yung sum, 48 years. Si x saka si, si son saka si father. Okay, so the sum of the ages of the father and son is 48 years. So we can write the expression x plus 3x is equals to 48. Kasi nga, pag pinag-add is equals to 48 ang kanilang mga age. Of course, kailangan natin i-combine yung mga like terms. So, x plus 3x is equals to 48. So, magiging ganyan na yan siya. 4x is equals to 48. Kasi pinag-add natin yung x saka yung 3x. Now, for our solution, of course, 4x is equals to 48. Ang kailangan na lang natin gawin dito is to divide both sides sa 4, di ba? So, 4x divided by 4 is equals to x, and then 48 divided by 4 is equals to 12. So, ibig sabihin, nakita na natin yung age ni son, which is 12. Okay? Now, hanapin naman natin yung age ni father. So, 3 times x is equals to 36. So, kapag pinag-add po natin yan, 12 plus 36 is equals to 48. So, 12 si son, 36 si father. So, I hope naintindihan natin ng maayos yung lesson kahit na mahirap siya dahil ang daming nangyayari at tapos naka-video lesson pa tayo. Um, Basahin lang mabuti. Babasahin lang mabuti yung word problems and wala tayong magiging problema. So, before we end this lesson, kailangan nyo lang matandaan na maraming estudyante yung nagsasabi na being good at math means solving problems quickly. Kailangan kapag mabilis kang mag-solve ng mathematics, magaling ka na, but hindi po yung totoo. A good problem solver is someone who knows how to think carefully, organize ideas, and solve problems step by step. So, wag po ninyong kakalimutan yan. And that's exactly what Polia's 4 steps teach us. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope this lesson helped you understand how to approach word problems with more confidence. I'll see you in our next lesson. Stay safe, keep learning, and have a great day.